you've just destroyed any credibility that you had for your superheroes. Completely destroyed their credibility.
Yep.
No.
Transform back. I can understand that, but Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand I see where you're going. I see where you're going. You can understand if the thing was, if they changed the thing's race to a black guy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see where that might, that wouldn't throw people as bad because people could say, oh yeah, well,
Yeah, but even in the comics, like, in and of himself, he is not always the thing. Like,
Yeah, he's always the thing, regardless of how you look at it.
yeah. So it's like, it doesn't matter if you change his race. Yeah.
Well, not even that he had the most exposure than anyone else, but the exposure reacted different to different people's cells. So that's what that thing was. That's what it was all about. It was like each one, it was going to react to their body, their cell structures differently, their cellular makeups differently anyway, regardless of how much time they've been exposed or not. It wasn't. It was designed to do that. That's just the way that it was going to work. No. That was the whole plan with
I am pleased with your performance.
the storyline.
Yeah.
Each one manifested differently.
Yeah. The one that was weird was Doctor Doom, to be honest.
Yeah, his manifestation was a bit. His was a bit.
His was just awkward.
Right. That was okay. I couldn't think of the word, but there it is. Awkward. Because
That's why I said off.
yeah. Because let's picture this right. The invisible girl. She turns invisible. Mr. Fantastic. He stretches. He's basically Plastic Man. Thing. He becomes a giant man of stone, brick, no doubt. Johnny Storm. He becomes basically like Human Torch.
A hothead like he naturally is.
Right. But
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Doom, he gets supernatural telekinetic ability. Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he can do whatever he wants, and you can barely get near him.
And something about his face being melded to the metal or some shit.
Well, his face started to deform pretty much. So he put the mask on. That's why he put the mask on, because his face was deformed. It was kind of like it was melting. The skin was changing, and it was becoming different. So he put the mask on because he was ugly.
See, there was one universe where it was actually in college where his face was deformed from an extreme accident with some kind of beam.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember that.
See, that's acceptable.
yeah, that one makes sense because it's a freak accident. But now it's just
Right.
like, oh, my face is starting to melt. Let me just put this mask on because I'm self-conscious.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much the way that he was essentially fucking like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Philanthropist, just cocky, full of himself. Oh, I'm a pretty boy, yada yada yada.
I mean, if you're going by the live action movie based on it, yes. It would be considered that way, yes. but Doctor Doom wasn't really the playboy type. He had one person that he had eyes for, just one,
Which was
which was
Susan.
Susan Storm. Right. He had eyes for Susan Storm. That's pretty much what helped him pretty much flip to the dark side, so to speak, when he couldn't have him because Reed, pretty much had his hooks in that one.
Dibs.
Yeah, he pretty much had dibs on that one. Without even asking or saying he had dibs, he had dibs. Because that's what she wanted, That's what she wanted. She wanted him. So,
So I know that their personalities also probably influence their powers.
somewhat. Somewhat. I mean,
Because
it was
Mr. Fantastic was always trying to stretch himself thin due to multiple projects, due to his intelligence.
yeah, most superheroes' abilities extended from a desire, an innate desire within themselves to be able to do something specific. Now, it didn't quite manifest in the way that they had hoped that it was going to manifest. Crap. Oh, okay. It didn't manifest in the way that they hoped it was going to manifest, but it manifested nonetheless. Um, with Reed, it was the fact that he had a lot of different projects, and his desire was to be able to multitask and do more than one thing at a time. And he felt that he could quadruple his workload if that was possible. That was part of his innate desire. He wanted to be able to complete multiple projects at one time, so that he could
And like I said, with
maximize
Johnny,
his stuff. Well, Johnny's thing was
Johnny was just a hothead.
he was just a hothead. He was young, he was young and brash, and it showed through. And
Quick-tempered.
his thing was, he was the stickler. He was stiff, rigid, unmoving. That's how he became the Thing.
Tenno, you are here to infiltrate data
Basically,
vaults
once
and
he said
retrieve highly
something,
sensitive
he
enemy
wasn't going
information.
back on that. Period. So that's how he became the Thing.
Solid like a brick wall.
Pretty much. He was just thick, period. That's basically how that works, you know what I mean?
The one that doesn't make any sense is, to me, is Susan's.
Well, Susan, that should actually be quite obvious, really. She felt like she was
Be on
always
the lookout
invisible.
for increased
She felt like she was
security
just
measures.
part of the woodwork, part of the features. She felt like a nobody. She thought Reed never really paid attention to her, never noticed her because she wasn't his part of his work. That's why she became invisible.
Like I said, I just said it didn't make any sense to me.
Now it should make some sense to you now. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you spend all day, doing your work, and your woman is right next to you, or the woman that you supposedly care about is in the same vicinity as you, but yet you don't really see her,
Keep moving. None of the scanners have detected you.
how do you think she'll feel? How do you think she's gonna feel at that moment? So that's that looked like it hurt. But yeah, so that's pretty much Susan's deal.
So I got my Oathbound Paladin until I was 61,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tank pretty much anything
The
now.
target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now,
Nice.
the enemy will start destroying data.
Like when it comes to the Fantastic Four, it's one of those groups where it's like, oh yeah, it's like an odd job kind of group where it's like everyone's different abilities have somehow coerced together and actually make a fantastic combination, but they're called
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four.
Agreed.
And it's just like it's very weird, but in the end it makes sense. But the way they got their powers is just kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
of course, if we look at the Flash TV show, how Barry got his powers was kind of weird too. A reactor in Star Labs blows up and then causes this storm to occur, and then people who got struck by the
The lightning bolt, or was it, or at least was in the shockwave area.
yeah,
Yeah.
had these abilities.
All became metahumans. Yeah.
Yeah, but the one thing that doesn't make sense is sometimes their abilities didn't make sense.
They won't even know
Like
it's
with the
gone.
two brothers who were flying whenever the plane had crashed and such.
Oh yeah.
Their abilities didn't really make sense to me. Like
Trying to remember their ability.
I can't help with that.
Yeah, I know you don't watch the TV
to
show.
cause sandstorms. That was it. Or storms or something like that.
I mean, I want
We have everything we came for. Get to extraction.
Heaven.
Oh no, I know. You talking about? No, that was the criminals I was thinking about. The ones that one of them can create like ice storms, and the other one creates thunderstorms and shit. But they were bank robbers.
Yeah, those
No.
are the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you think about it.
Like, it does make sense because their plane crashed in a storm. In a sense.
I think they were. Were they actually in a plane? They were in a. You know what? They were in a plane because they were getting away. Remember? They had just
were
robbed a
getting
bank
away.
or something like that. And they were trying to get away.
Dude,
Yes.
love Static Shock.
How did they get their powers? Static? Electrified personality. Always full of energy.
Yeah.
Whereas if they're friends, that makes control a lot of
Well, yeah, but that makes sense. Kind of based around
Yeah.
his personality.
Well, their abilities.
Yeah, but like, Barry's speed was based on his personality because he always felt like he needed to be faster to do other things.
Right. That's because he was always
Caitlin's-
late for work and stuff like that. Yes. Right. I agree.
Like with the one dude who could control electricity, he was on an electrical tower whenever he got struck by the lightning.
Mhm.
His body went.
Well,
into,
these guys,
like,
but you gotta think, they were in the air, they were flying, they were in the heart of the storm. Yeah, they were in the storm when they got struck.
yeah,
So why
based
wouldn't?
on what they were doing.
Right, theirs was based on where
Yeah.
they were. It was based on where they were, and technically, it is based on their personalities as well, because they were pretty much
Mission complete.
hell.
Excellent
They were
work,
pretty
Tom.
much hell on wheels, dude. Like literally, they robbed banks, so they were always. There's always a storm brewing within them. There was always
Yeah.
a storm brewing between them, because you gotta think about it. They were criminals. So wherever they went, trouble usually followed. What's the difference with the storm? Storm,
Hurricane.
right? Basically, and that's basically what it was. Like they can create storms, but it wasn't necessarily storms. One could create tornadoes. The other one could create cold storms, like ice storms. That was the deal with them. One controlled the wind.